What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's now the Tuesday. We actually missed an entire day. So yeah, Sunday we put up this room. Yesterday I literally just slept the entire day. Mrs. was actually really worried at one point because she couldn't even wake me up. That's how absolutely smashed tired I was. Rex went back down to the coast to grab a few more things from Shane, just the last few things, that just loose stuff that Shane obviously forgot to give us the other day. So it appears that we have officially received everything that we bought, which is awesome. So the other issue that I've had is Sunday night after we put this up, I went home, I was doing some editing that night, crashed out in front of my computer. Mrs. found me in front of my computer, like sort of passed out asleep on my arm like that. As you all know, this arm is broken. I've had a lot of issues with it. Most of you know the story anyway. But since then, I've been having a lot of issues with, obviously, I can't remember which one it runs along the top. It's either the medial or the radial nerve. I'm assuming falling asleep on it, I stretched it a lot. And now I've sort of lost all that sort of strength in my right arm. Like on its back, lifting up like that, everything's fine. But as soon as I turn it on its front, I can't actually lift or do anything like that. It's so I'm sort of I'm gonna get back out my ENA, which is my electro-neuroadaptive regulator. It's like a nerve therapy thing, which is what I actually used to get feeling back in my arm from the first time I broke it. So I'm gonna have to dig that out and hope that this arm comes good. So see how that goes over the next couple of days, counting on that happening. But a little bit scary, a little bit annoying, not something that I really wanted to happen. But you get that when you're all fucked up and your body's all broken. So today what we're going to look at is this room. When we smashed it back up on Sunday, we just nailed it together. When we took it down, it had these batten screws, but I'm screwing all the walls together. Just because we were smacking it up and Jake was here, we just all we did was just nail it up. As you can see, it doesn't completely close up these walls. End up with just a little bit of gap which you can see light through. Obviously this is not ideal when you want to have a sealed room, so I'm going to run around today and actually just put all the batten screws back in just to seal up all these gaps. We've tested the aircon, however Rex left it on overnight on Sunday night. He got up on Monday, he reckons it wasn't really that much colder in there, so evidently we need to regas the system, so we need to have a Fridgie come out and gas it up. So we've left it off for now because there's no point in wasting electricity or leaving it on if it is not working properly. So that's one thing we need to get onto. Sealing up this room properly today. We've got to look at a lot of the stuff, the stock, which we haven't really showed you guys either. I suppose there's not really much need to, but there is just heaps of stock that we got with the deal. We are going to start moving a lot of that into these shelves. Like I said in the last episode, we're going to build another shelf here. So we need to start moving a lot of the stock out of the container onto these shelves. Once that stock's out of these shelves, sorry. Forgot I can't use that arm properly. Once that stock's out of the container onto them shelves, it means that we can obviously condense all of this, like everything for Rex's car, we can condense onto this shelf because this one's going to stay. Once that's all condensed, we can piss off this bay of pallet racking is going. So that's right. I didn't actually talk you through my plan last video because I started to talk to Dad, but we'll go through what the plan is now. So legitimately am very scared for this arm. I'm really hoping with my nerve therapy it does come good again, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be pretty fucked. For anyone that doesn't know the story, I'm pretty sure I should be able to link a video where I sort of talk about it. I might make a video where I explain exactly what happened so all you new viewers are sort of up to date with why my arm's such a mess. But anyway, as for the plan for this whole shed area, workshop, how we're going to set it up. So, like I said last time, we put these pallet racking in. It was a really good idea at the time. They have been really useful. We do use them a lot, as you can see, they're full of crap. But the problem we have always had is that they just encroach a little bit too much on this space here in the workshop. You can like hardly get an engine stand through unless the car's up in the air. Engine crane doesn't really fit. It just makes everything a pain in the ass. So that being said, the plan was to pretty much move this two sections of pallet racking. Dad wanted them both gone. But the problem that I foresaw there was that we still have to put the compressor somewhere. Has to be somewhere. We can't have the compressor nowhere because we need it. We don't have anywhere outside for it to be undercover, so we can't put it outside anywhere. So unless it's under a bench, the way it is now, wherever it's going to be is going to be dead space. So I figure we're going to need to put it underneath something. Those shelves at the back there, it doesn't fit under there. It only really fits under here. So it makes sense to leave this one bay of pallet racking in so that we have somewhere to put the compressor under. And also we do have some shelves for if we're working on a car, Exhibit A, we have somewhere to put stuff because it is very useful for things like that. So the plan is the sink was always meant to go over here. The sink was never meant to stay over here. It's just where it ended up being. Again, everything's sort of semi-permanent around here. So the plan is, yeah, move all this crap off this bay, delete this bay. We're going to leave this bay here so the compressor has somewhere to go. We're going to move it all over. So this whole bay is going to move that way, essentially the width of that bay again. So what's going to happen then, pallet racking is going to be around about, you know, here. That's where the pallet racking is going to go. It's going to be sort of, that end of it is going to be in line with the corner of that bench. This is where it's going to come out to. We are going to, this is obviously on wheels, which is handy. We're going to turn it 90 degrees so that it's long ways, because we do have room. That way you can still work on a car. If you need to pull an engine out with the engine crane, you need the room. Or you can just wheel that back because it is on wheels. The other thing you got to remember is like a lot of the stuff in this corner of all these benches and stuff is our engine building gear, like all our valve tools, all this sort of thing. A vast majority of this now is going to get moved into our engine room. So a lot of this stuff's going to be gone. So we're going to have a lot more room to just condense a lot of this crap here. Obviously the valve grinding and all that is going to stay out here because that's all abrasive stuff. We do that outside the engine room. We don't do that inside the engine room. So essentially we're going to have here, this is going to be turned 90. That's going to be moved over this way a bit. The reel for the compressor hose, I'm going to move that off that and I'm going to put it mounted on the end of this pallet racking bay. So I'll put a bit of bar across there, mount the reel on that. So essentially the compressor reel is going to be here, almost in the middle of the workshop space, which makes a lot of sense. And frees up sort of that corner area over there. So with this compressor wheel gone, it's going to be on the end of the pallet racking over there. This pallet racking is going to be moved over so that this edge is level with the end of the bench just there. This wash bay we're just going to move somewhere else. I don't know where yet, but it doesn't particularly matter where that is because it doesn't need power. Oh, it does need power actually. Either way, it doesn't particularly matter where it is. We don't even use it really that often. So yeah, it can go outside for all that matters. I'm going to stack the washer and dryer here. Again, they're not meant to be in the shed. It's another semi-permanent thing where they are meant to be going down into the lean-to, but obviously not right now. So anyway, they can get stuck on top of each other here where the wash tub is, and then the sink bench there, which you can see has the sink in it, is going to be moved to here. So up against this, which is going to be moved over next to the washer and dryer, and there's going to be, I'll put up just a splash board just to separate it from the pallet racking. So the sink area is just a little bit separated from the work area. So barbecue can go wherever, that doesn't matter. And that essentially leaves us with this all clear. Sink's going to be over there, which is where it was always meant to be anyway. Going to have more room because that bit of pallet racking is going to be gone, and we're still going to have those two shelves to put stuff on when we're working on cars. Oh, what a story. And that's pretty much it. The whole idea is leaving this area clear, firstly because it's sort of our access with the engine room here now. We don't really have that much room around here like we did before. That access door is going to get moved eventually as well. That's not where it's staying. So again, all semi-permanent. But the idea is we are planning on building a bathroom. This is where the downstairs bathroom is going to be, was this corner. So with all this stuff moved and this corner free of everything, we can actually get started on this downstairs bathroom, which we do want to get done fairly soon. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Working around my floppy arm. It's a pain in the ass. It's not painful, like it doesn't hurt, it just doesn't fucking work. And it's frustrating. Yeah, so we start by clearing out the container and moving stuff into there so we can move this stuff over there so that we can get rid of this and move that, and that'll be that. In the meantime, obviously, Rex, I lost a, hold on, the lens is dirty. Wash that a little bit. That's better. So I lost a whole day yesterday because I was sleeping. Like I said, Rex went down the coast and did a few things, but he did do some more work on the skyline. He did get the fourth door hung. Now it has all four doors on it, looking awesome. I actually only pointed it out to him this morning, which he had forgotten, was that he has odd mirrors on his car, which I did point out to him once before, but obviously he forgot. And now he's gone through all the effort of painting them and putting them on the car. And he only realised this morning when I said it to him again that his mirrors are odd.
And if you hadn't fucking mentioned it, no one else would have noticed either.
So he's got the same way mine used to be, but the different way around. Like the whole time that I owned my car and Rex had this car before I sold it the first time, we each could have just swapped one mirror and had a matching pair of mirrors. But both of us had odd mirrors on the wrong sides. So he's got a tall mirror on that side and a little mirror on this side, which the silhouette, the driver's side mirror is the same as this one. So if he wants, he can take that off, paint that, put it on that side, and he will have a pair of matching mirrors. But obviously, as you can see, he's been through all the effort of painting them and putting on the car, so he's mildly upset about it. But he also went through the effort of actually masking up and painting the top of the headlight plastics. Like all of this has been painted in that bumper and trim paint. God, this is annoying trying to point at things. Same thing, he masked up all the chrome in the grille, painted the grille in that bumper trim paint. So like, when you lift the bonnet, literally all of this is brand new. It looks like it just came off the factory floor. So he's just sort of mocked up the front end a little bit there. Obviously, he never painted the Rio, but there'll be a bumper on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But you can see, it's pretty awesome. Bit of a shame over the few little imperfections in the chrome in the TI grille, but being a 30-year-old grille, you got to expect something like that, I suppose. But, you know, the TI front on this car, with all this, everything new, is going to look so nice. So as you can see, 4 doors, there's just like a few trims left to do inside, and the seats, and the 2 guards, and this car's getting close to completion.
Yes. The only annoying thing is the guards aren't painted, so that's, otherwise I could put the whole front end back together and sort stuff out.
It's frustrating because now the weather's turned bad on us again, so we've got bad weather out there, walking around strapped up with the sunnies on. No, but it has been raining, so now painting the guards is going to be another one of those things that might sort of hold us up, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. But
because it's only the 2 guards, we can get away with it. We'll get some lamps and the heater and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Should be able to get enough heat lamps around to sort of make it happen.
Yes.
But yeah, no, car's getting close to completion, which is good because we need this car done and out of the shed. But anyway, I'm not really going to film much of us moving stuff. That's why I blabbed on for so long, telling you guys what the plan is so that you know what we're doing. But not very exciting content, just watching us move shit around. So I'll just check in on you with you guys when we're sort of getting things done, and as things change, and you can see how much better everything's going to look. So yeah, obviously the idea is once the sink and everything's over there, this is all free for us to start our bathroom, and then we're free to smack the dyno in here. So that's the idea of getting all this stuff moved, is so that it's ready for the dyno to come in. Because once the dyno's here, it's not going to get moved very much. But yeah, as long as the dyno's there and we've got this space free, we've still got enough area to sort of walk around upstairs, downstairs, all that sort of thing. So we'll get cracking. It's going to be the big day, especially with my floppy bitch arm. And, hopefully we can get it done. Alrighty, so we just got back from the hardware. We stood here and we debated and talked about what we were going to do for a little while. Essentially about the other set of shelves that we're going to build in the stock room back here. So we do have another set of these, but obviously they're too long and being built, there's no way to actually physically get them into the room. Also too long, and they would cover the doorway. So to put it in here, we'd actually have to cut them shorter, make them shorter. Not only that, we'd have to dismantle them, bring them in here, rebuild it in here after cutting it, which was just a lot of pain in the ass, a lot of work. The other option was to go to like Bunnings or something and just buy like one of those ready like shelves that you just stick together. But you know, those things are like $90 odd or whatever for a fairly good set, and they only come in certain sizes. So what we decided was, on the roof of this engine room where it was set up, there's a couple of bits of yellow tongue, which is what the aircon unit and stuff are actually sliding on, so just so that there was area for him to actually put stuff on the roof. Obviously here, we don't have that facility because it's built underneath the mezzanine, so we have a whole heap of yellow tongue that we're not going to use. Not only that, we already have shitloads of yellow tongue lying around from when we did build the mezzanine. So we've got heaps of yellow tongue, and we've got a fair bit of stud just left over as well, just lying around. Not quite enough, but we decided probably the best course of action was we just went and bought a few more bits of stud, and what we're going to do is just build a set of shelves in here in situ out of stud and rip some yellow tongue, use some yellow tongue to use a sheet. So you know, there'll be a stud here, stud on the wall, a few laterals, and then just a few supports back to these studs, and yeah, lay some yellow tongue in there and Bob's your auntie. Obviously, the other thing is having all the yellow tongues awesome because it means we can make some more floating shelves all around the place. So did have all these little floating shelves in here. These are just little, just for keeping tools and stuff like that. Not very much weight bearing. So there's a couple of these already made, but we figured there's heaps of room to put heaps of floating shelves. Just the idea is if you've got heaps of floating shelves, areas to put tools and stuff like that, you keep all your bench space clear for actually working. So same thing, we've got heaps of yellow tongue which we can rip and make some shelves out of. So we bought a couple of these as well, so we can make a heap of floating yellow tongue shelves. My arm is really struggling at the moment, but heap of them so that we can make a heap of just floating shelves in there as well. So eventually, I essentially have this room sort of sorted out. Got some more batten screws. We're going to use the batten screws to try and pull the walls closer together to try and make sure we close up all these gaps. We use all the batten screws that came with it, but there's still a few gaps top and bottom that some batten screws are going to help shut it up. So a few more batten screws around the place. And then we've got some sealies. Oh, not sealies. We've got some just gap filler. So once they're all sealed up as best we can physically, run around with some gap filler and actually seal them up as best we can. So that way the room's totally sealed. Plus we got some tied elbows and some more conduit just for the aircon drain to go around the back. So we should now have everything we need to finish shelves out the back, put floating shelves inside, seal up the entire room, fix the aircon drain, and then we can start on all this moving stuff, which is going to take a while. Mum is not getting better throughout the day, which is a worry. It's not good. But we've built ourselves some more shelves. Ta-da! So that's the little storeroom pretty much sorted. So now we can actually start moving stuff out of the containers. So we're pretty much finished with our shelving. That's what we've set up our shelves inside the engine room, which we think is pretty good. Now, start loading stuff in. Still haven't got anything moved. This day sort of turned into more of a just get this room sorted more than anything. Which is annoying. I would have liked to have got more stuff moved, but we got to get done in a process. It's just annoying because I have to work tomorrow. Is all that's annoying me. Is because I know I can't be here tomorrow to do it. So, but anyway, we've got showed you the shelves before. Finally, I've got the air in here and set up. So we got some air. So it's just got a receptacle out here, just here on the post. So obviously, when you need it, you connect your air to the post. Which, as I said earlier, that air's going to get moved anyway. So that you've got air in here when you're doing motors, when you're doing what you need to do. So finally was able to set up these container things that I bought years and years ago. I literally bought these years ago. I've got heaps of them. I've got about 8 of them. I only set 2 of them up. Perfect for just, engine stuff. Pulling stuff down, you've got separate containers for bolts and stuff, hang it all up, that all goes with that engine, etc. It keeps things nice and neat and tidy and easy. I've only set 2 up for now. I figured this should be all we need. We'll see how we go with 2 of them, and just if we find we need more, we'll set more up. But sort of run out of area to put one. Like, could put another one here, but sort of like, there you go, are you really going to need another one there? Could put another one on this corner, but I sort of wanted to leave this corner completely like free of space. This is going to be probably the main working sort of corner. So yeah, and I can't fit a board between those two because that wasn't thought out beforehand. So makes sense to have one there. Makes sense to have one there. And if we need more, we'll figure that out as we go. So as well as that, Rex actually has gone around and siliconed all of the floor. So actually sealed off the floor of the shed to the room. That's all been siliconed and sealed. So we're getting to the point now where the room's pretty much completely sealed, which is what we want. Definitely very cool to have this set up finally. It's something we've been working at and trying to get towards for a very long time. And it is awesome now to have it here and working. Almost forgot as well, we now have the drain for the aircon sorted out. So that drains out here, down, around the corner, and down to the floor. We haven't drilled it through and poked it out of the shed yet. We're just going to wait and see how much actually, what water precipitation actually comes out of it to see whether it's actually going to be a problem. If it's just going to be like a bit of a continuous drip that's just going to drip and then dry out, it's not going to be a problem. But if we find that it actually becomes an issue where the water's actually sort of running a little bit and being a bit of a pain in the bum, then we'll actually just cut a hole in it, poke the conduit out, and run it completely outside. So that's essentially the room set up now. So we've done pretty well. Sorry guys that this content is probably not that exciting to watch. Obviously it's very exciting for us, but there is this sort of painful, slow process of getting it set up, which is exciting, nonetheless, just not that great for content. So apologies for that. but bear with us. Pretty soon we'll be set up and ready to go. So that's all we're going to have time for today, guys. I've got to work tomorrow and the next day, so I won't be back in action until like Friday. So I'll leave you with Rex again. I don't know what Rex is going to go on with. Probably continue on with the 31 / maybe start moving stuff into this room. I don't know what he will do or if he will film any of it. Needless to say, we will be back, and we do look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. See you guys.